Yeah, so today we're just going to...
I think there's a little bit of
There's
a delay.
little bit of a delay anyway, but come on then. I'm waiting for it to pop up on the screen here. So, yes.
Come on,
Wake
Alexis,
up.
wake up, cheeky bugger. He's a cheeky bugger today, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about what's going on with our business, etc.
What we've been up to, what we're going to be up to, and hopefully have a chat about what you're up to and how your Q4 sales are going so far, or not going, as the case may be.
Yes. Yeah. So, we'll start with shall we start with what we've been doing?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So oi, says Leo Beep Boop. So, what we've been doing the past few weeks is we've had an overhaul, really, of stuff. Because originally we were, I think, chasing the algorithm. This kind of,
mythical beast.
Yeah, this mythical thing with no particular number. So we were chasing that a bit, really, and we were putting as much on as possible, which got us into the bad habit of doing all the really quick lists and leaving other stuff kicking it to the curb a bit, weren't we?
Yeah.
Which meant that we had quite a lot of work that was piling up. Beep boop. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, so we were doing the quick lists and stuff, but these were all quick lists from the auction house.
Yeah, things that were under a tenner, really. So small change.
And I think the problem with that was there was a lot of stuff, like you say, that wasn't really worth a huge amount.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of going, well, all this needs is a quick clean up or whatever, and then we would just bang on eBay, move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth, which meant that the stuff that really needed more work was being left to one side.
Yeah, I mean, you've got an absolute load of Lego, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got tons of Lego.
That you've been sorting through.
Yeah.
I mean, I was getting really, really stressed, wasn't I, about stuff, and watching different reseller videos and thinking, oh my God, I need to do this, I need to do that, we're not getting any sales, and getting all panicky.
Yeah.
But since we've been chilled out a bit more, sales have gone up, and we haven't been listing every day, have we?
No, it was last Monday we actually had was it last Monday? I think it was, wasn't it? We had a meeting about it, and it was like, basically we talked about this whole thing of kind of following all these other reseller videos and all the advice that you get on there, which seemed like a bit at the time when we were trying stuff, a bit of a temporary fix to a lot of stuff. So we were kind of going and changing things, and then it was temporarily boosting it for about a few days, a week if we were lucky, and then it was going back to how it was. And so it's like, we'll try something else because this person on this video said this, and so on and so forth, really, until it just kind of reached this peak where we were just kind of constantly chopping and changing everything all over the place.
Yeah.
To the point where it became very time consuming to do that, taking away from the stuff that we should have been concentrating on at the time, which was buying in good bits and pieces, sorting them out, getting those on, really.
So I wasn't enjoying it anymore at that point.
Yeah.
I was getting a bit fed up of it all and thinking, well, we're not making much money, what's the point?
Yeah.
But you gave me a good talking to, didn't you?
Well, when we had this meeting last week, basically, I think one of the things that I said during that was, before we started watching all the resellers, before we even knew all this stuff existed, basically we were running it how we thought best to run it, and we were making the sales. We were getting, because we were running it from home as well, so actually we were already at work and all this kind of thing. So we were just like, okay, well, so I keep noticing comments and then I read them out the corner of my eye and it distracts me. So,
JP says, was it like being called into the head teacher's office? When you gave me a talking to, nah, she's all right, you're not scary, are you?
No. And
I get all panicky and you just talk some sense into me.
Well, I was trying to put it in perspective that before all this kind of stuff, we're watching reseller videos, it was we just kind of muddled on and we actually made money.
Yeah.
So I think I said to you, I think my words were like, we did pretty well.
Yeah.
We did pretty well anyway. The thing that really I think has made a massive difference to money that we get at the end of the month is this that we're sat in right now, this office, because that wasn't a choice that we made.
No.
That was a necessity rather than an actual choice.
Because our flat, as we've mentioned before, is tiny.
Yeah.
And there's 3 of us in there and a cat.
Yeah.
So there's no room for stock, no room for a desk, no room for anything really.
No, there's just not the room to be having work at home. So basically this office, because we had a different one before this one, you would have seen possibly the very first video we ever did, which was the storage cupboard that we used to be in. And just before we left that, they actually put the price up as well, and it would have been the same amount of money, probably a little more actually, than this one, which is about twice the size. So it was definitely a good thing that, because you found this one, didn't you?
Yeah.
You looked around and found this one. And it wasn't a case of they were putting the money up and then we decided to move. We were already thinking about moving. And then they put the price up. So we were like, okay, we did this at the right time then. We moved at the right time. But yeah, so this meeting we had, we basically, I think, talked about how, you know, like putting all this stress into it also is counterproductive. Getting stressed about all the little intricacies and stuff is counterproductive. And that's when I think we established we need to play on our strengths, don't we, again? Rather than buy all this stuff from this auction that we have been buying, which is all stuff we're not 100% interested in all the time, because there is some stuff, to go back to where we started, really, at the beginning.
Because then you save, if you sell stuff that you mostly know about, you don't have to do as much research, so it's quicker. Whereas if you're selling stuff like we've been getting from the auction that we have no idea about, it's starting from scratch. You're having to research every single little detail and clean it all up and stuff. But if I had a box of wrestling figures, I'd know who they all, well, pretty much who they all were. And it would take me about 10 minutes to list loads of them.
Yeah.
And they're quite good sellers for us as well, aren't they? The wrestling figures and accessories.
I think we've decided also, because at the very start there was a chopping and changing in the focus of stuff. So originally there was Lego, and then there was Lego. Sorry, reading comments again, distractions.
Sorry, I just want to explain that one to you. Cocaine. JP sent me a meme, and it's a wrestler in the ring, and he gets this white powder out. He starts putting it all over his face, and he starts going all crazy, and he's called cocaine. Yeah, especially cocaine.
Yes. So so our focus was all over the place. So basically we had we focused on Lego, and then we focused on Star Wars, and then we focused on, and it kept changing to one particular focus. But now we're kind of a mindset where we can't have anything too specific a focus at any one time. So we're just kind of buying in anything and everything that we can possibly find, but that is within the remit of what we would like to be doing.
Yeah.
So if it happens to be Star Wars, it's Star Wars. If it happens to be Lego, that's what we get. Yeah. It's just whatever's out there, whatever we can get, which also brings us to changing focus of these auctions as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we used to, someone's pressing the heart button. If you could just go too along and press the little dollar button.
I think you're kind of misclicking.
Yeah, it's the, help us get a bigger flat or a bigger place button.
It's the mortgage fund.
Yeah, the mortgage fund. But no, we've gone back to the auction house that we used to go to. Oh, was it you? Well, I'm not going to bother asking you for this. My son. There's no point asking my son for money because he doesn't have any.
Oh, well.
Oh.
But yeah, anyway, the auction.
Yes. We've gone back to our auctiony place. Auctiony place. I'm not going to say where it is. We'll give out all our secrets away, do we? But recently won quite a few lots, and they should be with us in the next week or 2 weeks, they said. And it's a load of toys. Transformers, wrestlers, sealed figures, Funko Pops as well. And I cannot wait.
I mean, we are going to be paying more for that stuff, but then again, because also we're getting it posted, because it's away, this auction house.
Yeah.
So basically, we're going to be getting that posted anyway. But the fact of the matter is that you have to speculate to accumulate sometimes. And so this outlay of money that might seem like horrendous when you're actually spending it, you know, we know the kinds of things we're looking for. We do research them really thoroughly as well. So we know that they're good and we know that we can make the money out of them.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean, it makes a lot more sense to buy something for £50 that you can sell for 100 than to buy something for £1 you can sell for 10. Because the bread and butter things, it's fine, isn't it? But, you know, we want the bigger profits.
The auction house that we were getting stuff from, it seemed to be the majority, I would say about 85% was bread and butter.
Yeah.
It was very few and far between where we got anything that was worth a lot of money that we could sell on and actually make that back fairly swiftly. We still have stuff that we bought that was fairly cheap, but is still hanging around because it's not massively sought after. It's not
niche.
Yeah, it's very niche.
Uber niche.
And it's waiting for that right person to find it on, I think there's something on Etsy at the moment that I put on. So we're waiting for the right person to see that, to want it.
We've been doing quite well on Etsy, haven't we, recently?
Yeah,
we have got 25% off 98% of our items on Etsy. I didn't put your fancy items in the sale, don't worry.
Yeah.
25% off, you know, and we've got loads of vintage mugs and knickknacks, so head on over there if you want to get your mum, your nan, your brother, your sister, anyone a Christmas present. Shop small.
With the auction that we were going to, a lot of the stuff that we were buying, I kind of was finding there was a lot of historical value in it.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of it was very interesting to research it, but when it came down to actually putting it on eBay or Etsy, it wasn't super expensive, and sometimes actually it was a bit of a tough sell, wasn't it? Because although it had historical value, it was a case of waiting for that right person to see it. And I bought a bundle of letters, which were, well, they weren't letters, they were mostly letters, but they had them as not mortgage papers, deeds. But they turned out to be mortgage papers. And basically, at the time, I think I was like, oh, there can be money in old deeds, and it turned out they weren't exactly what they said. But the trouble is, they were all tied up in bundles at the auction house and stuff, and you couldn't just go ripping them open and stuff like that. And I think I sold them on for exactly what I paid for them. I think just about.
Pretty much.
And the luckily, the right buyer came along, who was somebody who actually wanted them because it was one of her ancestors that was part of their estate. So basically, she was interested from a historical point of view because she was writing a book about it.
Yeah.
And that was, for us, really lucky. But you don't always get that lucky with stuff like that.
No. Sometimes it'll just sit. And, you know, we have got room to store stuff, but it just gets a bit dull seeing the same old things all the time. You just think, why am I even bothering? But this new stuff that we've ordered, I can't wait to get it here. And I'm going to make a video. They come in like big, almost looks like a pallet, doesn't it? The big boxes that they come in. And I'm going to do an unboxing video and show you all what I got.
You did have some figures on cards and stuff like that, didn't you? So there's a lot of stuff like that as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping it comes very, very soon. So just to get it on before Christmas.
I did. I received some retro gaming stuff recently from them.
Why don't you open that and show everyone? I don't even know where you've put it. You haven't opened it yet, have you?
No, I'll open it later. Yeah.
It's some little. What are they? I don't know what they are.
Well, they're these little games. So they were called Cube World. So just a load of those, basically. Yeah. I don't think there's a huge amount in each of them and stuff, and obviously, you know, I'm hoping they work. But when you add them all together, we'll certainly make a profit on them. Yeah. So as well. But
I would like to say that next Friday, so not today, next Friday. It is next Friday, isn't it?
Next Friday.
Yeah, next Friday, the 6th.
Yeah.
We are doing a charity raffle and a little quiz with Nick and Andrea. And JP's going to join us, aren't you, JP? And the lovely Lainey. I don't know if everyone knows Lainey, but she's a lovely lady. And she's going to be doing the quiz for us. And we're raising funds for the Trussell Trust, who run food banks and provide food for people who haven't got any. And I think no one in this day and age should go hungry. It's ridiculous. Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Hi, Sean. Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
But we have got a link for the Just Giving page. Tickets are for the raffle are £2 each. My wonderful assistant Leo has just popped it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
£2 per raffle ticket. We've got some really, really good prizes. Car Boot Chris has donated £20 to spend in his Whatnot shop, and he said that he'll pay the postage, so it's completely free. JP's donated some toys and things, some sealed toys. I can't remember exactly, JP, sorry. We've got Christmassy bits.
From one of the viewers who, we won't name. We won't name her.
Yeah, they've asked not to be named, but they've sent us a load of Christmassy bits and, bits and pieces that we're going to sort through and put together. But we will, once we've sorted all the raffle prizes, we'll put them up. But there is some really good stuff. Nick and Andrew are going to donate something as well. Lainey's donated a beautiful necklace, which I can put a picture up on Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram. That's Flipping Retro, and I'll put pictures up there.
Yep.
But yeah, £2 a ticket. It's definitely worthwhile. You can do your Christmas shopping while supporting a charity.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, there will be the quiz. I don't know what it's going to be like, but she's doing it. Lainey's doing a mini quiz, so it's not because the last one we did, I think it was about maybe 2.5 hours long. So I think she's going to be doing a little quiz because I think we're going to have about an hour, aren't we, before the raffle really? So.
Lainey does do a good quiz. That's right. But I always donate to charity every Christmas. So this year, even though we've only got a tiny platform, I wanted to use it to raise a bit more than I usually can on my own. So, £2 a ticket. The link is in the chat. I'll put it in the description of this live after we're finished as well. So yeah, if you can, that'd be wonderful. Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's our Instagram link in the live chat.
Yep.
So we've got 24 people, but no one else is chatting. So we've got Sean.
We have some lurkers.
Yeah, we've got Sean, we've got JP, we've got Leo. Who else is there? Make yourself known.
Yeah, if you want to say
forever
hello.
Hold your peace.
So yeah, that was what we had. There we go.
Exactly.
Yeah, a little bit of rambling. That's what we have been doing.
Yes.
So what are we now doing? What are we now doing?
What are we now doing?
That's a question I ask myself all the time.
Hello, Gary.
Oh, hi, Gary.
Thank you for introducing yourself.
That is a clever trick, actually, JP, to be two watchers at the same time.
How are you two? Yeah, when we get to 850 subscribers, which we're quite near to, we are going to do a giveaway.
Yeah, you may get a stick.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with the law around the stick, then you're going to have to go back and watch all our videos to get it.
Yeah, and if you can't be bothered, right? Basically, we once gave away a gift which was a mug, and then in the mug was a coin and a twig that we found
in a vase.
In a load of stuff from the auction. I mean, you're lucky because one week we did find a little ceramic pot and it had human teeth in it. So you could have ended up with them, really, rattling about.
The funny thing is, we did a giveaway and it was some really cool trolls from the 90s and we only had 2 people enter, one of which was my son. And I think a guy called Frank Hovis, he will know. I've not seen him around for a while. I don't know if we've put him off.
He was swearing,
but no one was interested in the trolls. But put a stick in a cup and everyone wants it. We had so many comments, didn't we? Everyone wanted the stick. And I can't even remember who won it now.
Oh, it was the guy who said that he was going to... He put like this... Because we said, how would you... I don't know, what would you do with your stick or something, which sounds really rude. And he said there was this like fantasy scenario of slaying dragons and all this kind of stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, very imaginative.
Yeah.
So no one else is going to chat then this morning. I suppose everyone's busy because it's one of the last paydays before Christmas. And it's Black Friday today, isn't it? Has anyone gone out and got any Black Friday bargains yet?
Yeah, have you been in the middle of a scrum for the Black Friday stuff? For
the big tellies, even though you've probably got 3 already.
So we were going to talk about what we are now going to be doing, really, from the point where we decided to calm our
shit.
Calm our shit.
I can't put any duck noises in here.
Calm our. So yeah.
Yeah, so basically we're going to go back to our roots of selling toys and collectibles.
Yeah.
I'm also going to be selling CDs and cassettes because I really enjoy that. And I've found some really good ones, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I found about that auction is that you were tending to buy quite a lot of media, weren't you, sometimes? Yeah. So basically we were ending up with crates that were full of CDs or cassettes or DVDs. And what was kind of happening was after cherry picking the best ones and then listing those, there was just loads of them that were not even worth looking at, to be honest with you. So it was kind of really tough to manage to get rid of any after having cherry picked. And I suppose the only thing about it, if you go to car boots, if you go to jumble sales, or jumble trails or wherever, even charity shops, is you can cherry pick while you're there. You might be paying up a little bit more per item because of cherry picking while you're there, but you will be getting the stuff that is worth it kind of more off the bat than you would be if you bought a huge bulk of stuff and only maybe had 3 or 4 in there that were actually worth the trouble, you know.
Our last bundle we got, it was really good. I bought it because there was definitely one CD in there which was worth, I think we sold that for 55. It was My Chemical Romance's first album on CD. Yeah. And I paid £5 for the whole lot. But I think we sold a few more for a tenner. But then after that, I think they went to charity, didn't they? Or you got rid of some through, what do you call it? Music Magpie?
Yeah, and that was about the only thing that I think we could possibly do because a lot would be considered, I suppose, you know, fodder, really. So I was scanning them into places like Ziffit and Music Magpie and sending them off. So we were making a bit of money off the back of them. But it was, again, though, if you scan through Ziffit and Music Magpie, any of those, right, the only problem is they don't accept everything. No. So then we still ended up with this stuff that not even they would take. And then it was a case of, well, we could either keep it, wait till later and try again, or we could just, you know, get rid of the rest of it, take it to a charity shop or something.
I even messaged Tom, you know, Tom the Picker Tom, is that his name? You know the guy who was recycling all the CDs into coasters and stuff?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But he said he's got so many at the moment he doesn't need any more. So I was going to send him some, that, you know, that we don't need, that we can't. That's it, Tom the English Picker, sorry.
Yeah.
He's a good lad.
Some of the CDs actually we were getting were so heavily scratched that it was just a case of, well, what do you do with them? Yeah. Because literally you can't play them. You know, we would try them, you can't play them. I know you can clean them, right? And I know people will say you can clean them and stuff like that. But these were really, I mean, I think it's, is it Disc Traders? He has that huge, like, $2.5 machine that he uses.
The beast.
And it cleans all the discs, and even like really, really deep scratches, he can get those out of the discs. But the thing is, even if I was to message him, say for example, and say I've got all these CDs, can you clean them? Would it be worth it? Given how much it would cost me to get him to do it? I mean,
not unless you've got 16 copies of Silent Hill for the PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Dino Crisis.
We have got a few actually that are destined to be clean, but we just don't have a disc. Well, we don't have a disc cleaner, full stop. But we haven't got one that would be powerful enough to get some of the bloody scratches out.
No,
because they're so deeply ingrained.
We need to get an invite to Nick and Andrea's house because Nick's got one, and we could all go around for a cup of tea and a bit of cake, and we could use Nick's CD cleaner.
Isn't that one of the ones that isn't really super powerful, though?
I don't know.
Because the really powerful ones, they have the big tanks in them, and they are quite, well, they're noisy, to be fair, these machines, but I think that they are very powerful cleaners, you know, for these discs. So it would, for some of the discs that we've had or we've still got, that would take something like that. Because there's two kinds of people in this world. There's people who treat discs like they're made of porcelain, and there are people who just...
Did you read what JP just put?
No, but I will in a second. But there are people who treat them as though they're frisbees. Yeah. Really, and I've known both. I've been both actually, because I used to just put discs all over the floor when I was a teenager. But yeah, they get really scratched. You
see?
I just read that comment, Silent Hill. Was it Was it the original for the PlayStation, or was it a PS2 version?
Because you love Silent Hill. I mean, I love Silent Hill. I'm more of a Resident Evil girl, but I know that
PS1. There you go.
That's worth a few quid, isn't it?
To be fair, right, I mean, if now we're on the subject of retro games, basically, I don't think I've ever owned a copy of the PS1 version, but I've got loads for the PS2, and I've got some for the 360 of Silent Hill. I've definitely got the room for I can't talk today. I've got Silent Hill the room for the
Xbox 360. Because I brought that for you.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
You asked me to get you a Silent Hill, and it was the only one I could afford because it was about 20 quid, I think.
No, I think when I last checked, they're about 20 quid. So they're not really massively valuable. Yeah, they are a lot of money. But the PS2, I think I've got like Silent Hill 2, and then that's in the cardboard slipcase. And then I think I've got Silent Hill 3. And I've got a few odds and sods that basically, you know, I collected over
What's
the
that one
years.
called for the DS that you've got that's worth a lot of money?
Before I say about that, I've also got The Suffering for PS2, which was a brilliant game. I played it back in the day, loved it, and then I rebought it. And that's worth a fair bit. I think The Suffering 2 is worth more. I think I've got Manhunt as well, which is worth it. Manhunt 2 is worth it as
Brilliant
well.
Game.
But yeah, there's a DS game which is called Delirium, and it's set in a mental institution. It's meant to be a horror game and stuff. And I played it back years ago when it was released, and I loved it. And then I think I got rid of my DS and my games and stuff like that because I was poor. And then I bought them again, and I've now ended up with 2 copies of the first one because they did 2 different copies. So you had one with a red cover, and you had one with I think it's like a yellowy goldish kind of coloured cover. So I've got both, and then I've got 2 copies of the second one as well. So I've got 4 copies of that one because I like it that much, to be fair.
Sean has got a PS1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and Pro.
So I keep debating about getting a PS5 because I have a PS4 and I love my PS4, but the PS5 I'd want to get the one where you could put discs to play in it, because some of the games to download on the PSN are actually quite pricey. So I would want to get like the disc one and then get the second-hand games for it. And they are re-releasing Silent Hill 2 on the PS5. And I think when we heard about this, because I think you heard about it and then you told me, I was like, oh God, this is like a problem for me now. This is a real issue to think, can I actually buy a PS5 just on the merit of that one game? Well, of course the answer is going to be yes.
Yes, of course.
Because I once bought a PS Vita, which if you're looking at them, they can be worth a bit. Specifically for Silent Hill, wasn't Shattered Memories, it was Book of Memories, for that. And Silent Hill Book of Memories was done in a dungeon crawler style, and I didn't like it very much, so I just sold it on for more money, because that's what it's about, isn't it?
Leo, you put that they can donate to the fundraiser, but it's a raffle, honey.
Yeah, and
so they buy a ticket. For every ticket is £2.
Yeah, we'll just explain this one. The link is there, but what you do is you go in and you put in like £2 or however much you like. Every ticket is £2 though, so make sure it's a nice round number, I suppose, for those entries. And then next to your donation is write raffle, and then write a specific username for you, or your name, or full name, or I don't know, Oscar the Grouch, Kermit the Frog, whatever you want, really, as long as it's unique. And then we will allocate numbers, and then you can potentially win prizes.
And we'll be doing the raffle live Friday the 6th next week at 6 p.m. Like I said, with Nick and Andrea, Lainey and JP. We'll also be doing a quiz which you can join in on if you want to. And it's not just music this time, it's general knowledge, because last time Nick and Andrea whooped our arse, didn't they, at music?
We were second. Out
We were
of
second,
3, we were second.
But they did used to own a music shop, didn't they? Or work in a music
so you
shop
feel
or
like
something.
they had the advantage.
Yeah, they cheated.
So yeah, anyway, if anybody though has a copy of, before we move on from this, if anyone has a copy of Shattered Memories on the PS2, which I know is bloody expensive, or any other platformers, let me know, because I'm well into the market for getting one of those.
I think JP will probably be your man. He sells a lot of games. If you,
Yes.
JP, if you get that in, let me know.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't
obviously,
let her know because, you know, Christmas.
I mean, even the Silent Hill collection, if anyone has one of those and they're willing to part with it for a reasonable amount, then, you know, I would be willing to get one of those too, because I just really would like one.
Yes. He doesn't have.
Anyway, so moving along, what are we going to be doing from now on with our business?
Selling toys.
Yes.
And things that we actually enjoy selling, that we know about already, so we don't have to spend hours researching pottery marks.
To give you an impression of what it's been like, we were sat there like this every day for weeks and months, you know.
Like Oliver Twists.
Yeah. Like that, basically. Yes. But yeah, we're going back to how things were before, where we were actually having a lot of fun to buy these things, sell these things and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I mean, we used to sell a lot of action figure accessories, which I love because I love identifying them. It's like a little puzzle, and I do it in my spare time because I'm an absolute nerd.
Well, one thing when we first started, we were doing separate parts of the same things, weren't we? So we learned our lesson on that one. Which Silent Hill for the Xbox, JP? Sorry. Is it if it's what was that called?
The Room.
No, was it Rain? Something like that. It was something called Hard Rain or something. Oh, Homecoming. Didn't like that one. No, I didn't like that. But anyway, yeah, basically,
You lost your thread now, haven't you?
Yeah.
That we're going to be selling stuff that we enjoy selling, and that we're going to be keeping. Yeah. You're doing your Lego, aren't you, mostly? But you probably also do books and stuff. GTA 5, I love that game. Yeah, that's a fantastic game.
When is GTA 6 coming out? When are they doing that?
You're not having time off work?
To be fair, no, I wouldn't. If there was another Far Cry, I would. But basically, there's been talk about that for a long time, hasn't there? GTA 6. Who loves Far Cry?
I've never played it.
Well, I wasn't asking you.
I did try playing Fallout, but I didn't like it. I thought it was rubbish.
Fallout? I tried playing Fallout. I've watched someone play Fallout, and yeah, I didn't really get it. But I love Far Cry. I think that's quite a good game.
2025.
Far Cry 3. Oh, okay. GTA 6 has become a meme. I think I've seen some of them, actually. We will get Red Dead 3 before we get GTA 6.
See, I love Red Dead 1 and the Undead one, Undead Nightmare, but number 2 I thought was rubbish. I didn't think it was any good.
This is another question. When you were playing Red Dead Undead Nightmare, did you manage to catch the unicorn?
No.
No, neither did I. To be fair, neither did I. That was a toughie because it kept appearing on the map, didn't it? It's like a little circle. And then you had to rush to wherever it was. And by the time you got there, it was kind of either going or it had already just disappeared. So it was really difficult. But Far Cry 3, love that game. Far Cry Primal as well, that's second favourite.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is the best game ever released. Maybe I don't know. I've got to be in the mood to play computer games. Maybe I should give it another go.
You've played that. I've actually got it, but I've never actually played it. Yeah, I've got Red Dead 2.
I'll give it a go again later then, in between, because I'm still playing my wrestling games. I love the WWE 2K games.
Oh, no. I've played Uncharted. I think I played that for about, not very long, to be fair. I didn't get on with it very, very well, if I'm honest.
I really need to go to the toilet.
All right, how much longer have we got? Can you hold for?
No.
Oh, okay. So you're
holding.
You're gonna leave me here on my own. All right, then go on.
Look after her, please. I'll be 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you for that announcement. Saints Row. Do you know what? I don't think I've ever played Saints Row. That's just us chatting about computer games now, isn't it? What else have I played? Saints Row 1 and 2 were really good. I don't think I've ever actually played them. No. What is it? Wolfenstein? Yeah, but I've played the first Red Dead Redemption, which I thought was really good, and Undead Nightmare is obviously brilliant. GTA. See, I really like GTA. The one I liked actually, which is a bit weird, was Chinatown Wars. I didn't mind that on the DS. I thought that was okay, but it was kind of old style. So a bit like the first GTA for PS1, where you kind of watched everything from above. So it was a bit like that, wasn't it? Saints. See, I keep seeing Saints Row in the comments, but Saints Row re-elected. And Red Dead Redemption. Yes. And now I'm going to struggle to think of a topic to talk about other than... We'll continue talking about this, it's fine. What else have I played? Yeah, so I love playing The Suffering. At the time, it was I was playing it, and it was one of those things where you go, oh, this is great, look at the graphics. And obviously now, you play something like the PS4 or the PS5, or the Xbox One or something, and you kind of look back at that and go, I'll read that in a second. You look back on games like that and you go, you know what, the graphics weren't as brilliant as I remember them. And I don't know whether you ever get this when you're playing these games, right? Is where you've played the old stuff for the PS1 or something, and then you play stuff for maybe the PS4 or 5. And the stuff that you found tough to play back then, you then go back and you finish it all in one sitting because it's so much easier. Tomb Raider. I love Tomb Raider as well, actually. So what was that? Saints Row is the one with a dildo bat. Yes, afternoon, anyone who's now joining. Yeah, so I love playing Tomb Raider, basically. There is a question in the comments, I'll answer that in a minute. But yeah, I love playing Tomb Raider. And it was one of these things, you know, sort of when you're in your teens, you find a game that you like, game series, you just have to play through the whole thing. That was what it was like with Tomb Raider. There are certain select games in the series that I didn't like as much. But in general, like Tomb Raider 1 and 2 when they came out, I remember when I got my PS1, I deliberately went out and got it with the first Tomb Raider included, and the very first not Grand Theft Auto, Gran Turismo. That was a good one as well. Rage Racer as well. Anyone remember that for the PS1? Because I loved Rage Racer and I bought it, and they're worth a bit of money. Rage Racer. Yes, Tomb Raider has Lara Croft in it. And if you want to see a couple of good films, the Tomb Raider films with Angelina Jolie are not too bad, to be fair. They're watchable. Road Rash. Ridge Racer. Yeah, someone said Ridge Racer was my best one. Ridge Racer was a brilliant game. Hello. To be fair, there she is again. So, yeah, there was a question here. We've just been chatting about video games, actually, to be fair. I was singing the praises of Tomb Raider. Yes. So someone's asked a question, Mike. Mike Tongue. Has put, a lot of online resellers are moaning about a sharp increased eBay returns at the moment. Any thoughts? We haven't seen.
You've jinxed it now.
Yeah, we had one the other day, a couple of days ago. She wanted to return, but that's because it got a bit, I think it was a post, wasn't it?
Yeah, it got damaged in the post, so that's fine.
Yeah.
No, we haven't noticed, we haven't, I think we've only had about 2 returns this year, haven't we?
Yeah, I don't think, touch wood. I don't think, to be honest with you, there's been, we've noticed much in the way of that so far. I mean, to be fair, Mike, are the other online resellers saying why they think that this is happening? Like, is that one to watch out for?
Yeah.
to be honest with you?
Yeah, we've only had 2 returns. One was this thing that just got damaged in the post, and the other one, I think the lady regretted buying it and then said it didn't work, even though it did. That was that DVD player, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think that was in a previous video, and we think that that was probably a case of that she didn't want it when she received it.
Yeah.
Because when we got it back, she'd said it didn't work, and it worked perfectly. We sold it again, and the person received it and said it was brilliant. You know, it was just what they needed. So Mike says, from what I've seen, it seems to be more clothes people, but a lot of buyer's remorse from what I can see. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose with clothes it's tricky, isn't it? Because with second-hand stuff, it's not always going to be true to size, and people never read the description, do they? So you've got something that's like a size 12 top, but it's shrunk in the wash or it's got stretched or whatever. People aren't going to necessarily read the description to see that, so that's when you're going to get the returns, I suppose. But
and measurements as well of stuff. And we did, was it last week or the week before with Tommy Trades?
That was last week.
Last Wednesday. There was a live with Tommy Trades. And we were talking about selling clothes, and he said the one thing is he's really particular now about putting measurements in the listing. In the photos, he'll put like a tape measure or a ruler or something next to the particular thing, so people can see stuff like that as well as read it. And that might then reduce the return rate from the point of view of things sort of fitting exactly as they want them.
Yeah.
Because different brands, they're different sizes sometimes. So Mike says, I've not had any, but have had a lot of damaged or lost in the post in the last 3 months. Usually only have 2 or 3 a year. Yeah.
We're having an issue at the moment, aren't we, with an item that's... We sold a decorative table lighter, a Waterford Crystal one.
Yeah.
And sent it to America. It's got held at customs because it's a prohibited item. But when I rang Royal Mail, they said, oh, no, it's fine because it hasn't got gas or whatever in it.
Butane.
Butane.
It's a butane lighter.
It will go... it'll be on its way within the next couple of days. So I checked back in a couple of days and it's showing that it's going to be returned to us because it's a prohibited item.
Well, you went a bit round the houses with that, didn't you? Because the
so many phone calls.
First person that you spoke to said, don't worry, they will forward it, it'll be fine. So it was like, okay. But if it hasn't moved by the beginning of next week, give us another call. Gave them another call. No, it won't be sent now. Blah-de-blah, on this went, to the point where I think you did look up prohibited and it said something about the fuel in them, whether they have fuel or a flint, and it was like, oh God, did that have a flint in it or anything like that? I was like, oop.
Yeah, but the issue is now it's been returned, it's on its way back to us apparently, but the lady still wants it and she's in America and she was asking if there's any way we can send it to her, but I don't think there is. If it's got a flint in it.
We could remove, to be honest, when we get that back, we could try and remove. If there is a flint, if there really is, we could try and remove it.
But has anybody in the chat ever had any issues with prohibited items going to abroad? Because this is new for us, isn't it? We've never had anything like this before.
Well, it was a bit of a steep, sudden learning curve, if I'm honest with you, that, you know, sort of, if you go on and you buy this postage via online, sometimes you don't always get that warning because you do have to pick the category that your item falls into. Hello, Gem Love. You have to basically pick the category that it falls into, but the only problem is you pick the category and then it doesn't come up with a warning or anything like that at the time. This is with Royal Mail International. It doesn't come up with a warning to say, you are about to try and send this particular item, does it have these in it? No, you don't get anything like that. Nothing. No. So they will allow you to spend money to post something that they know that they're going to be returning to you potentially anyway, which seems, I hate to say it, like a little bit of a swizz, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
I don't know, Royal Mail seem to be going a bit downhill, don't they?
Well, I think people have said that for years.
That's true.
But with something like that, it makes more sense. It would be a lot more... I think efficient if they just had a box that popped up to warn you really of what you were sending to make sure.
What does Mike say? I can't
so Mike says, I sell old toy soldiers and have had some rejected as may contain lead when selling via the GSP. I've resent via a different or an express courier and they have gone through.
So this is Royal Mail, so it's not GSP because it was on Etsy. So other than Royal Mail International, I don't know how else we could try. But the lady's adamant that she still wants it, and it was 100 it's £100 sale, so it's not, you know.
Isn't that really silly though, that they have said they may contain lead? It just seems like a real kind of, I mean, that's uber kind of protective of what they're sending, isn't it?
It's a bit
Because
precious.
they may contain lead. Like our lighter thing that we sold may contain lighter fuel. Well, it doesn't. It may contain a flint. You know, it's just, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it's going to get to the point where you're going to be printing, whatever company or companies that you use, you're going to end up printing out loads of bloody sheets of rules and sticking them everywhere so that you remember, you know, I've got this through this bundle, I can't even list it because I can't actually send it.
And we won't even touch on the GDP ZR 5560, whatever it's called.
What was that called again? The GPSR?
GPSR, I think. But yeah, I'm not even going to talk about that because. But Nick, you know, on Nick's last video, he said that they had a meeting with eBay and they've got the answers and they're going to put out a video. So keep an eye out for that, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to, well, we're just going to continue as we are, aren't we? Really?
Pretty much, yeah. And I suppose that brings us back round to the actual topic of this video, I suppose, which is where we're headed, and we're just going to kind of keep muddling on, really, with what we've now decided to do again, which. You know, which is basically buy from sources that we've already bought from in the past, really get, you know, up to speed with the stuff that we've had hanging around.
Yeah.
And actually do something with this Lego, which I love doing Lego. I mean, there's a lot of people that hate it, to be fair, but I like doing it. It's, I don't know, I just find it, dare I say it, quite relaxing, actually, to be fair.
See, I'm the opposite. I find it stressful.
I think if you're picking apart a bundle of Lego to make the sets out of it, you have to be really uber organised with it.
Yeah, and I'm not.
When we got a bundle, the very first thing that I think we sell that on eBay, that big bundle of Lego, the very first thing we got.
Yes, we did.
So that we had no idea what to do with it, to be fair. But ever since then, I've really looked around. I kind of understand, I suppose, better how stuff like Bricklink works and been able to just pick apart bundles, really. Yeah, and it's been fine. I mean, just a small selection. I've got plenty of Star Wars here. What I do, actually, don't know whether, I mean, this might seem quite an antiquated system of doing this, but basically I just have a load of sandwich bags of appropriate sizes for the sizes of the sets and just write the set number on them, and then I have
that works. It works for you.
I add that set to Bricklink, and then what I do is, as I'm going through picking apart all the bundle, etc., is I just add it to the separate bags and, you know, cross it off of Bricklink and done, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it soon piles up with all these, you know, mostly or totally completed sets, really.
Yeah.
Yes, that works.
Yes, so I think that's probably where we'll leave it.
We'll wrap it up here for now. Yeah.
If you can afford to go and buy some raffle tickets or a raffle ticket, the prizes are really good. I will put out something on Instagram, maybe a short video as well showing them on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's some really good prizes. So yeah, if you can, head over to the Just Giving page. I'll put the link in the description if you're watching this after it goes out. And write raffle and your name, your full name, or, you know, your YouTube name or whatever, just so we can identify who it is. And then the raffle's going to be drawn Friday the 6th at 6 p.m. And there's a fundraiser thingy again. But yes, I mean, there's some good stuff. Stuff that you can give away as Christmas presents.
Yes.
So, you know, you can be supporting charity and doing your Christmas shopping all at the same time.
Unfortunately, there won't be any video games, I don't think, at this stage. I don't think we've had anything, or we've got anything. But so there won't be anything like that. And obviously, I'm not going to be partnered with any of mine.
Yeah, you've donated your entire Silent Hill collection. That's very nice of you, isn't it?
But no, we've got some stuff we'll add anyway.
Yeah, we've got.
Joking aside,
we've got some Funko. We've got at least one Funko Pop somewhere.
That somewhere.
I don't know where it's gone. That Mandalorian one. I don't know what happened to him. He'll be somewhere.
Remember?
Yeah. But like, subscribe.
Turn on notifications. Make sure you press all, because then you will get notified as to everything.
Yep. When we get to 850 subscribers, there'll be a giveaway.
Yep.
Don't know what yet, but it'll be a good one.
850 did
that's
you
what
say?
that's what you
850.
said.
So I think originally I was going to do a rude cross stitch.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yes. But obviously what we can always, revisit that. I'm really losing the ability here.
I know.
But yeah, we're going to revisit that anyway, sort of figure out a really fun and or great prize.
Yes.
To add to that anyway, so.
And if you like what you've seen in our video or any of our other videos, please feel free to send us a little super chat thing. Not entirely sure how it works, but I think you have to press the little dollar button.
We're ladies of a certain age, you see. We don't know how anything...
We don't understand. Just,
newfangled technology.
Press the buttons and see what happens. But thanks everyone
press the button and see what happens.
That's how I live my life.
That was
I was kicked out of NASA.
That was their Tinder profile. That was
How dare you? But thanks for everyone for joining us, all 24 of you, even though some of you are shy. We value each and every one of you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.